Let's breathe together one more time here as a special little community we've created, as a special group. Deep inhale through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Take a breath in and then exhale. Cat pose, open up the back. Inhale, cow pose, open up the front. A couple more rounds on your own. Here we connect breath to movement. Each one gives something to the other. Breath gives something to movement. Movement gives something to the breath. After your next cow pose, come into a neutral spine. Extend your left leg back and lower the whole left foot down to the floor. As you inhale, take your left arm forward, up towards the ceiling, and then circle it back by your hip and down towards the floor. 2 more circles around. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. When you've completed that last circle, bring your hand to your hip and then lift up your left leg, bend your left knee, and reach back with your left hand. Grab your foot, hug your heel in towards your hip. Try to point that left kneecap straight back behind you. Reach forward through your right shoulder. Reach forward through the crown of your head. See if you can spread across the chest a little bit while we're opening up the left quadricep muscles and the front of the left hip. Gently bring your left hand to your left hip and stretch your left leg straight back behind you. We're going to swing that straight left leg all the way around to the front of the mat, keeping it straight, coming into half splits or half Hanuman's pose. Hands down to the floor or blocks under your hands are a great option here. You've got the back of the left heel on the ground. Reach your chest forward. This might be plenty right here. Just reaching the chest forward, and think about reaching your left sitting bone back. It's early in the practice, but if you want a little more, you can bend those elbows and fold over your leg a little bit. Plant your left foot on the floor, bend into the left knee, and as you inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, low crescent pose. See if you can bring your hips a little bit more forward, stretching the front of the right hip here, and maybe lifting your chest up, maybe a little bit more of a back bend here, opening up into your community. Excuse me. And then exhale, hands down to the mat, back to hands and knees. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And then stretch your right leg back, get the right foot onto the floor. As you inhale, take the right arm forward and up. Exhale, circle it back and down. 2 more full circles around. Connect your breath to the movement. And now bring your right hand to your right hip. Lift your right leg up and then bend your right knee, hugging your heel in towards your hip. Slide your right hand back, grab your foot, maybe use a strap here, hug your heel in towards your hip, and then see if you can open across your chest a little bit here. Try to point that right kneecap straight back behind you. Opening the quad, opening the front of the right hip, opening across the chest. And then release your foot, slide your hand to your hip, straighten your right leg back, and then keep that leg straight as you take it out to the side and then circle it all the way out in front, coming into Arda Hanumanasana, half pose dedicated to Hanuman. Hands on blocks here, maybe more of a bend into your knee to start. It's early in the practice. Think about taking your chest forward and your hips back. Of course, if you want a little bit more, you can bend your elbows and fold over your leg. Really listen to, be gentle with your hamstring muscles here. And then flatten your right foot onto the ground, bend the right knee forward, and then sweep your arms forward and up. Low crescent pose. Try to keep reaching the hips forward, tailbone down, and then hips reaching forward. Maybe finding a little more of a back bend here, maybe even taking your arms back behind your ears. And then exhale, release, hands down to the mat. Lift your back knee up, step back to downward facing dog. And then for this first downward dog of the practice, just move around a little bit, do what feels good for you here. Finding the length into your back body, even into the back of your neck. Let your head hang down, move it around a little bit. Start walking your feet up towards your hands. Eventually coming into standing forward bend. Bring the big toes together, heels just a little bit apart, and then put a bend into your knees. Wrap your forearms around back behind your shins. So your palms are pressing into the back of your ankle, forearms are pressing into the back of the shin. Chest is on the thighs or close to the thighs. If you've got a deep enough bend into your knees, take a breath in. And as you exhale, start to straighten the legs just a little bit. Inhale, bend the knees again. Exhale, straighten a little bit more. One more time, inhale, bend the knees, and then exhale, straighten. Push your forearms into your shins, push your shins back into your forearms, folding in, opening the back body. And then inhale, release your arms. Exhale, soften down. And then next inhale, rise up to stand. Take your arms up overhead, touch your palms together, look up, let the front body stretch out a little bit. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Each time we come back here, we'll keep coming back to this pose. Each time we come here, remember connection into your community. Remember the special gifts that you give to your community. Inhale, lift up, take your arms to the sky. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale to chaturanga, slow and controlled here. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee, twist open. Focus on lengthening through the right side, but also opening the front of that right hip. Inhale, stretch your leg back behind you, and then as you exhale, lunge your foot to the top of your mat. Come up to warrior two. So without putting our hands down on our legs, we're going to go back and forth between side angle pose and reverse warrior. So as you exhale to side angle, reach your right hand back towards your left hip and your left bicep near your ear. Inhale up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Left hand reaches towards the front hip, top arm over the ear. Inhale up, warrior two. Two more rounds of this. Exhale, side angle. Inhale up. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale up. Exhale, reverse. Inhale up to warrior two. Now straighten your front leg. Turn your front palm up and really reach forward through that right hand. Reach back through the left hand as if you're grabbing onto members of your community, holding one another. And then really reach forward. It's all we're doing for now is just really reaching out through the right arm, being that connection, that glue in your community, holding hands. Keep your right leg, right arm where they are. Take your left arm straight up overhead. So I'm gonna whisper in your ear here. You can do this. Hold here. Of course, if you have pain, if your alignment is lacking, come out of the pose or modify the pose, but hold here. It takes strength to hold. And then finally, lower your right fingers to the floor or a block for regular triangle pose. Roll your top shoulder open. And feel here how both legs, both arms connect into the whole, how everything pulls into the middle, all these different pieces still connecting. And then both hands down to the mat. Bring your back foot in a couple of inches, straighten your front leg, fold down into it. And then bend your knee a little bit. See if you can connect your right ribs to your right thigh. And then exhale, start to work the leg a little bit straighter, folding into it. Inhale, bend the knee. One more time, last time here, straighten the leg, fold over it. And then inhale, bend your knee. One leg dog. Take your right leg back and up, lift it high behind you. One leg vinyasa is an option here if you want that. You know how it goes. We've all practiced together before. One leg vinyasa, two leg vinyasa. Take the movement that works for your body or hold the stillness that works for your body and mind here. From downward facing dog, inhale left leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open. Yeah, you're looking good. So focus on that side body lengthening and also the front of the hip. You've got a twist going on here, multi-purpose pose happening. Inhale, stretch your leg back, square your hip up. Exhale, lunge your left foot to the front of your mat. Come up to warrior two. Turn your front palm, sorry about that. Keep your palms down. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, side angle pose, left hand reaches back for the right hip, right bicep over the ear. Inhale, up warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale up, two more rounds. Exhale, side angle. Inhale up, exhale, reverse. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, come up to warrior two. Now turn your front palm up, straighten your front leg. So really reach forward through the left arm, reach back through the right arm. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, lean out, lean forward, really reaching out with the left arm. Staying connected, front and back, holding hands, metaphorically, with your community. You're important in that chain. Keep what you've got. Just take your top arm straight up overhead. Hold here. You've got the special power to hold here. You have the strength. You have the ability. And then finally, lower your left fingers to the floor, regular triangle pose. Roll your top shoulder open. And then exhale, hands down to the mat, either side of the front foot. Bring the back foot in just a couple of inches. Put a little bend into your left knee. Connect your left ribs to your left thigh. And then as you exhale, just work on getting that leg a little bit straighter. Inhale, bend your knee again. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Last time, straighten the leg, fold over it. And then bend back into your knee, one leg dog this time. Left leg lifts to the sky, one leg vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Feel the connection of each body part. Feel the connection of breath. Yeah, you're looking great today. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or hop up. Fold over those legs. And then inhale, lift upright, touch your palms. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Everything connects here. Remember what your superpowers are within your community. One of them might be balance. Stand onto your right leg, bend your left knee, take the foot behind you, reach back with your left hand or a strap, hold onto your foot, and then take your right arm up overhead. We're preparing for dancer pose, Natarajasana. So get strong into your core now, get ready there. And then as you exhale, reach forward, reach your heart forward, reach your foot back. As much as your heart reaches forward, reach the foot back. One more breath here, and then step back to high crescent pose. Lower your back foot to the ground, or your left foot to the ground. Take both arms up, and then back bend here. Open that front body up. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. Come into plank pose. I already started counting. We're just going to hold here for a minute. Each body part really needs to work here in the plank. You can do it with only certain body parts, but it's so much easier. It feels so much better if you can really think about drawing the thumbs towards one another isometrically, turning on the chest muscles. If you can make your quadricep muscles work. If you can keep that belly pulling in and up. Getting everything on board here, maybe even a little squeeze to the glutes, a little tuck of the low back. Five more seconds, and then we'll lower to chaturanga. Take a breath in here, you're done. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, lift up high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee, twist open. If it feels right for you here, you can flip this on over to dancer's bridge pose. Maybe hold a little bit of balance there. Good, inhale, come back around, one leg dog. On your exhale, lunge that right foot up to the top of your mat. Come to warrior one. Open through the chest. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Standing pigeon pose. So we're going to stand on the right leg, cross the left ankle over. Take your hips back and down. Try to get your chest close to your shin while keeping the chest open. So you really have to pull the shoulders back here. Inhale, lift up, standing splits, hands to blocks or the floor, still standing on that right leg. Take the left leg straight up into the air. See if you can get your chest or maybe your nose closer to your standing leg. And see if you can lift up that left leg a little bit more. And then exhale, step back to lunge, left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the back heel down, bring your right arm to the inside of the right leg and take your right hand behind the right shin. Push the shin forward, lower your side body low. We're just gonna hold here. You can do anything with that left hand that helps you open up your hip and inner thigh. Maybe take your left palm to the front of the right ankle and then lower in. Maybe squeeze that outer right hip into the center and towards the midline a little bit more. And then on your next inhale, start to unwind. Walk your hands around the left long side of your mat. Come into side lunge into your left knee. And then inhale, straighten. 5 more side lunges. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Take these on your own. And then when you finish that last one, straighten both legs, turn your toes to point forward, fold down in between your legs. And then start to walk your hands back around towards the front of your mat. We're going to take an arm balance here. This is called Ikapata Kundanyasana 2. So we've still got that right arm on the inside of the right leg. We already did the prep for the pose, taking the hand behind the shin, lowering the side body down. Now, plant your hands shoulder width distance apart on the mat, flip your back heel up. Start to work your front foot forward and out to the right. Bend your elbows like you do in chaturanga. Maybe you lower your left hip or side body to the left arm and reach that right leg forward. Reach the left leg back. Yeah, stretching out like Hanuman. And then get your feet back down onto the ground. Standing splits. Walk your hands forward. Come into your standing splits. And then take your right hand out to the right, maybe come onto fingertips. Bend your left knee so your left heel comes in towards your hip. And if you can lift that left hand off the ground, reach it back. See if you can find your left foot. Point that left knee up towards the ceiling. And take your chest a little bit closer towards your thigh. And then release, step back to lunge, one leg dog, take your right leg high, one leg vinyasa. Remember that as you go through the vinyasa, each pose connects to the next. Each pose offers something to the next. It's a deep connection there, making each pose more meaningful because of what has come before and what will come after. From downward dog, inhale, left leg back and up. Bend your knee, twist open. First option, stay here. Second option, flip over. Flip dog, dancer's bridge, rock star. This pose has a lot of names. Inhale, come back around, one leg dog. Exhale, lunge your foot up to the top of your mat. I left something important out. So we've got the left foot at the front. Bring the right foot up to the front and come on up to standing, both arms up overhead. Stand onto your left leg. Take your right knee behind you, dancer's pose. We need to get this one in here. We're a little out of order, sorry. And then exhale, bow forward. Heart forward, foot back. Heart forward, foot back. And then gently release all the way back. Open your heart up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. I think this has got us caught up now. Standing pigeon pose, standing on the left leg, cross the right leg over, and then lower your hips back and down. Inhale, lift up a little bit. Exhale, standing splits, hands to blocks or the floor. Lift that left leg to the sky. Try to get your chest onto your left thigh. And then as you exhale, step back into a lunge. Lower your back heel to the ground. Bring your left arm on the inside of the left leg, hand behind the shin and lower down. All we're doing right now is the prep for the arm balance, getting the hips to open a little bit, or for me, a lot. And then as you inhale, start to unwind. Walk your hands around to the right, along the right long side of your mat. Side bend into your right knee. Inhale, straighten, and 5 more side bends on your own here. High or low, slow or fast. When you finish those, straighten both legs, fold in. And then walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Coming into lunge, now we'll go for the arm balance. Left arm is on the inside of the left leg. Reach behind the shin, push it forward, get low. Try to get your leg high on your arm or maybe over your shoulder. Plant your hands shoulder width distance apart, lift the back heel up. And now you're gonna stretch those legs out like Hanuman, leaping across the uncrossable ocean, reaching your left leg forward, lifting up through your back leg. And then get both feet on the ground. Standing splits again, standing on the left leg, lifting the right leg up. Bend the right knee so your heel comes in towards your hip. Take your left hand out to the side and a little bit forward at a diagonal. I like to be on my fingertips. And then see if you can get light onto the right hand. Maybe lift the whole right hand up, reach it back. Maybe right hand finds the right foot, heel stays into the hip, and your kneecap points straight up towards the ceiling as you fold in. And then release, hand down to the mat, step back to lunge, and then one leg dog, left leg lifts, one leg flow. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat, fold over them, and inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Chair pose, low with the hips, high with the heart. Find the back bend in chair, and then exhale, hands to the floor. Straighten your legs, fold into them. Inhale, lengthen forward. Meet me in downward dog, however you want to get there. Breath connects your movements in the vinyasa. Notice how each pose flows into the next. From downward dog, inhale, right leg lifted up. Exhale, lunge your foot to the top of your mat. Come up to high crescent pose. In high crescent, find that little back bend, tailbone down, heart up, lengthening across the front body. And then inhale, come back upright with your spine. On your exhale, slowly lower your back knee to the floor. Try not to let it just plop down. Slowly lower the back knee down. So now we're in low crescent pose. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat, either side of the front foot. Straighten your front leg. Back to half splits or half pose dedicated to Hanuman. Stretch your chest forward, reach your sitting bones back behind you. And as you exhale, if you have the room, bend your elbows, fold over your leg. Inhale, lift back up, plant your front foot again, come back to that low crescent. So back knee is still down, take the arms up overhead, and then exhale, hands to your heart, twist to the right. So bring your left arm to your right leg, point your right elbow towards the ceiling, push that right hand down. See if you can lift your chest up so your thumbs are in the center of your chest. And then inhale, come back around, take both arms up overhead, take a back bend here in the low crescent. Inhale, bring your torso upright, lift your back knee off the ground, so high crescent, and then exhale, hands down to the mat, one leg dog, right leg is the one that lifts and you can flow through, following your breath. From downward dog, inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, plant it where you want it, right at the front of your mat, high crescent pose. Inhale, lift up. Strong legs here, strong belly, tail is reaching down, heart lifts up, and then curls back for your back bend in high crescent. Inhale, bring your torso back upright, and then slowly lower your back knee down to the mat. And then hands down either side of the front foot. Half splits again, straighten the front leg. Push the back of your left heel into the floor. Put just a little bend into your left knee. Reach your chest forward. Think about reaching your tailbone back behind you, as if you're trying to get a little bit of that cow spine in your low back. If it feels right for you, fold over your leg. And then inhale back up, plant into your left foot, bend the left knee, low crescent pose, both arms up overhead, lift up. And then on an exhale, hands to your heart, twist to the left, right arm comes across. Rotating through the spine. And then inhale, release. Both arms up overhead. Lift the back knee off the mat, and then hands down to the floor. One leg dog, left leg lifts, one leg vinyasa. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. Stand in forward bend. And then one more chair pose. Low hips, high heart, rise up. Feel that lengthening of the spine. And then straighten your legs, stand tall. A little back bend at the top. And then exhale, hands at your heart. And then just release your hands down. Okay, friends, if you have a wall that you can work with, you're going to take your mat over to the wall and we're going to try standing splits at the wall. If you don't have a wall anywhere where you're going to be able to put your leg up on the wall, I'll show you what the standing splits look like. Then you're going to come back into the half splits. So I'm going to talk you through this in a moment, but just so you can see, this is what the standing splits are like. So you only need a wall space that's as wide as your body is. And it needs to be a wall you're willing to put your foot up on. So if you're gonna go for the standing splits at the wall, it's nice to have your mat there just so your hands don't slide. If you don't have the wall, your half splits back on your mat, as we've done twice before, with the right leg in front. So for the splits at the wall, you're gonna be in a forward fold. I like to start with my heels at least 6 inches away from the wall, so there's plenty of room for me to maneuver there. Hands onto the floor. We're gonna take the right leg all the way up the wall. I like to have the toes turned under or tucked under so that the ball of my foot and the bottoms of my toes are on the floor. It helps me grip a little bit better here. Think about reaching your hips back towards the wall. That's a little push into the hands and a reach back with the hips. You might be able to walk the hands back more. You might be able to pick the left foot up and walk it back towards the wall. About one more breath in here. One more exhale. Everybody's looking great. This is tough. I'm whispering in your ear. You can do it. And then start to walk yourself on out. Or if you're in the half splits on your mat, start to come out of the half split. And then we'll go to the second side. So if you're staying on the mat and not on the wall, it's half splits with your left leg in front. If you're at the wall, stand with your back to the wall, at least 6 inches away, hands down onto the floor, and then take your left leg up. Try it with the toes curled under and see how that works for you. And then keep reaching your hips back towards the wall, maybe walking your hands back, maybe picking up that right foot and taking the back of the foot all the way to the wall. One more exhale in your standing splits. And then one more inhale to get you out. Come on down. And then we'll all come back, bring your mat back wherever you want it if you moved it. And now we're going for the full split. So come down to the mat, right leg stretched out in front, left knee on the floor. So really apply pressure to the back of the right heel, little bend into the right knee. Your hands can be on blocks here, that might be helpful. So first option is to stay here, maybe working on folding over your leg. Second option is to start working that right leg a little forward and then picking up the back knee and walking it back a little bit. And keep doing that forward back until you get to the place that feels right for you. So you can always take a block and put it underneath your legs if that's helpful for you in your splits. Like Hanuman, we all have special powers, only things that we bring to our community. And then in turn, the community is stronger and the community lifts us up. You got your community supporting you here. Use your inhale to start to lift up out of your pose. Come on to hands and knees. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. And then from neutral, we'll go for the second side. So that's left leg in front. Maybe hands are on blocks here. And again, first option is to hold the half split and work on folding over your front leg. Second option is to take the legs farther apart. So you need to really apply pressure to the back of the left heel, So the muscles on the back of the left leg work. Stretch that left leg a little bit forward, pick up the right knee, walk it back a little bit. And this might be your Hanumanasana, pose dedicated to Hanuman, or you might place a block underneath your leg, but don't let the block take the place of your leg muscles working. Keep the muscles really strong and active as you stretch out. Connecting front and back, side to side, top to bottom, all parts pulling into the whole. Maybe splits, Hanumanasana isn't your special superpower in your community. And then use your next inhale to start to lift back up. Come on to hands and knees. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. And then come to a seat on your mat, legs stretched out in front. Inhale, both arms up. And then as you exhale, fold over your legs. So if you are reaching out towards your feet and your hands are reaching past your feet, one thing you might consider is taking your block to the soles of your feet, hands hold onto the block, and then folding in that way. Inhale, lift up. We'll add a twist with the forward fold. So I'll give you a couple of options. First option is to take your right arm to the outside of your left leg and then swing the left arm up and over for your twist. Second option is to take that right arm all the way on the outside of your left leg. I like to hook my fingers right behind the Achilles tendon on the left leg, and then swing that left arm back, fold over your legs, reach out. You may grab your opposite foot, maybe not. And then use your inhale to unwind the twist and lift upright. Second side, take your left arm to the outside of the right leg. So again, hand can be on the outside of the leg. We're going to forward bend and twist at the same time. Maybe you get that whole forearm flat on the outside of the right leg. Grab your fingers behind your ankle or your Achilles tendon. Inhale, reach the right arm back, twisting open as you reach back. Take your arm up overhead. You're forward bending and twisting here, trying to point the elbows in opposite directions. Left elbow towards the floor, right elbow towards the ceiling. And then inhale, release your twist. Bring your torso back upright. All right, cross your right ankle above your left knee. Bring your hands behind you to support, and then place the left foot on the floor. So this is a sitting pigeon pose. On your next exhale, keep the legs in this configuration, but just let them drift over to the left until you get the sole of the right foot on the ground and the outer edge of the left leg on the ground. Keep that right arm behind you, left arm up, and then as you exhale, twist. Bring your arm down to grab, left arm to grab onto your right leg somewhere. Inhale, lengthen your spine up and twist around. And then inhale, release the twist. Bring your legs up, straighten them out on your mat. And we'll take the second side. So keep your right leg straight, cross the left ankle above your right knee, hands behind you to lean back into, and then right foot on the ground, sitting pigeon pose. And then on an exhale, take the legs over to the right. Sole of the left foot comes down. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And as you exhale, bring the right arm somewhere onto that left leg and twist around. Inhale, release your twist. Bring your legs back up and then straighten them out on your mat. We'll take one back bend here to close out the active portion of the class. So bring your hands back behind you again. If your wrists are feeling tight or cramped, turn your fingers out to the sides. Otherwise, fingers pointing forward, draw the shoulders back. We're gonna come into reverse tabletop. It's a little easier to come into the pose with bent knees. It's harder with straight legs. So you decide how you want to come up. There's going to be a lot of strength in the back body. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lift. Lift the hips up, push the floor away with your feet, with your hands, reach the crown of your head straight back behind you. You have the power here. You have the strength. You can hold the pose. One more breath round. And then on your next exhale, lower your hips down, come onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest and rock over your back. Take a happy baby pose. Reach up, grab your feet, knees are wide here. So you can stay in your happy baby. We've done a lot to lengthen the backs of the legs. Think about maybe straightening that right leg out. See if the right toes will maybe come close to the floor, and then bend the right knee, and then straighten the left leg. Maybe the left toes come down to the floor. And then maybe if you're really feeling it, you straighten both legs, toes to the floor or towards the floor. And then bend the knees again. Stretch the legs out all the way onto your mat. It's time for corpse pose. If you want some finishing poses before you get to corpse, take those. So our practice has taken us on this little trip, just as Hanuman's search and rescue party went on a trip. And we might have gone a little bit in different directions, but now we've all come back together here at this place. So let's breathe together once again. Deep inhale through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Take a few more of those clearing breaths, focusing on the exhale and letting yourself sink down with each exhale, knowing that you are supported in your back body. Feel how stable the earth is underneath you, and feel that the hands of your community are supporting you, holding you up here, and you can rest into their embrace. Begin to open your breath up a little bit more. As you inhale, draw that breath, that new energy right into the place of your gifts, the gifts that you give, the power you give to your community, the role you play. Awaken that gift. It's time to share it. Stretch your arms overhead, reach your legs long. And then on an exhale, roll over to your side. Take a moment to honor yourself for being a part of the community that you operate in. Take a moment to honor the community, the communities that you participate in, and all that they give to you. And then bring yourself up to a seat. And once you're oriented in your seat, close your eyes and bring your hands to your heart. I hope as you go through not just this day, but this week of gathering or not gathering with your community, that you're still able to feel their support and you're still able to lend them your support, creating something magical and wholly different from each individual. Let's take a moment to send our collective energy out to all individuals and communities in need. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.